If there really is one good thing that can be salvaged from the whole, well, Boris Johnson debacle, it really, really is the fact that once again, Boris Johnson has reignited the debate around House of Lords reform. And I know what you're going to say. Oh no, here he goes again. Because I talk about House of Lords reform all the time. Because as I keep on trying to remind people, House of Lords reform is important. We cannot continue with this sheer ridiculousness that the House of Lords continues to get away with. Because, as many people rightly point out, there's been all these scandals in like the House of Commons that caused by Boris Johnson and other Tory MPs that have gone on and been very sort of, known and widely reported. But people have ignored what has gone on in the House of Lords for the past decade. It is in drastic need of reform. And I know there's a lot of people saying, "Oh no, we need to keep it because there's good people in there." Well, that doesn't make the excuse to keep it. It needs drastic reform, drastic reform. And until we really do that, it is going to be, well, first of all, an outright embarrassment because, well, if you care about all the scandals that have gone in Westminster, then you should care about the fact that there is at least a scandal a week that takes place in the House of Lords. It is far, far, far more scandal ridden, and that's saying a lot, far more scandal ridden than even the current House of Commons. And if that shocks you, good, because it is in desperate need of reform. Desperate need of reform. And I can think of no better person today to turning to Norman Fowler, who was the Speaker of the House for the House of Lords for quite a long period of time indeed. I think it was 2016 to 2021. So if there's anyone that is talking about House of Lords reform, how that should be really put forward to the people and really start this debate about House of Lords reform, then it is now. And we must get this done because this is something that always it just comes and goes in waves. And we cannot let this opportunity go because more and more people are continually starting to say cross-party from Conservatives, Labour, Lib Dem, etc., all saying we need to reform this. We need to get rid of this. We need to do something about it. And remember, even people in the House of Lords, the Lords, want reform, but they just cannot agree how to best do it. So at this moment in time, I think we just take it beyond their hands and just say, time to get this done. Time to do something about it. But we're going to go over his 3 recommendations of at least the questions and debates that should be really had around this, because I think these 3 points he brings up are really valid. And as I said, we really want to reform the House of Lords. We need to get this done. And it would be a big step in especially getting Westminster reform, because if you can show that PR is good and how good it is at creating a good house, then the excuses for not changing the Westminster voting system, it becomes an even stronger case. So as I know many people want to reform Westminster, put that on the back burner for the moment, guys. Focus on the Lords. The Lords should be the target we are going after. But anyway, we're going to go over these 3 points he has about debates we should be having around the House of Lords, because I absolutely think he's right around this. But before we do go getting into that, please do remember to click on the like, share, and subscribe button. And of course, down below, there are links to my Patreon page, the One Off Station link called Buy Me Coffee. We can buy me coffee. There is the YouTube thank you button, and of course, the Pony Club down below as well. So we're going to go over this. This is a piece he wrote in The Guardian all about this. So the title is "One Good Thing Came from Boris Johnson's Debate or Debacle." There will be a fresh look at the House of Lords. So he has 3 things he said that needs to really happen in order to get Lords reform. And at least what should be debated not only in these potentially upcoming elections, but even in the parties themselves. So the first one is, first, in an appointed house, is the public interest served by giving the prime minister such a pivotal position in making these appointments? We should remember that a peerage is not just an honor, it is a door to the legislature that enables the new peer to take part in all debates on all bills that the government provides and votes on. And that is a fantastic question. Is it served in the public interest? Is it in the public interest that the prime minister is the one that gets to make these decisions? And I don't think it is. As I made my feelings very clear, this needs to become an elected house. So I think that is really the question and the debate that needs to be had. Is the current House of Lords best now served in the current public interest, and is giving such an important role purely to the prime minister also in the public interest? So that's certainly a debate that should be had. So, second, there is a wide consensus that the appointed house is too large, and it is. It's way too large, way too large. In fact, technically, the House of Lords has more appointees than even China's. Like, I don't know what they call it, but I'll just call it Parliament. So yeah, it is way too large. So when I was the Lord Speaker, I set up an all-party committee in 2016 to review that position. Their unanimous feelings was that the number of peers should be reduced to 600. And had the government accepted the proposal, we would be near that total today. But of course, it was content to sleep on it. Like I say, at the moment, there's around 800, I think, lords appointed there. And of course, Boris Johnson just appointed 6 new people to the House of Lords. So he's grown it even more. So the third question is the most fundamental. Should we move on from an appointed house to an elected? And that is right. That is really the most fundamental question when it comes to this. And I agree 100% for him. But you know my feelings. We need to have this as an elected house, and it needs to be done. Now, I know someone today, one angry pagan, I didn't get a chance to respond, but I saw the question, but I'll respond to it now. Said that Lord's reform needs to be tied to abolishing the monarchy as well. No. If you tie abolishing the monarchy to the Lords, it ain't going to pass at all. It's a complete non-starter because the monarchy, like it or not, still very popular. So as I know, that probably should be a question that should be addressed. For the time being, you should not pair those two things together at all, because it is not a popular position when you go to people, should we reform the House of Lords and abolish the monarchy at the same time? All of a sudden, you start getting a lot of no's because you've attached abolishing the monarchy to the House of Lords. So do not, as much as you may want to get rid of the monarchy, and that's fine, whatever, do not attach it to House of Lords reform. Resist that urge, because it becomes a really popular opinion to reform the House of Lords, to make it an elected body, to not if you attach monarchy with it. So keep the monarchy out of this discussion. It should not enter this debate. But back to it. Should we move on from an appointed house to an elected, or at least a partially elected one? A royal commission would be entirely the right body to help settle that. The argument for an elected house has always been strong, and is self-evident the more democratic and gives more representation to all parts of the kingdom in a way that the present house does not. I confess, as a new member of the Lords in 1991, I harbored an ambition for my role to develop to become one of the first members of an upper elected house. So I completely agree with those 3 points. I completely agree. And like I say, if you've been on my channel any length of time, I'm a massive proponent in reforming the House of Lords. Needs to be reformed. Needs to be reformed. And we need to really start a push. And I know there's a lot of people that really want to sort of reform Westminster. But as I say, put that for the time being on the back burner, because that's not going to go anywhere, and change your focus to reforming the House of Lords. Because if we can do that and we can get it done by PR as well, then your argument for reforming Westminster to a PR system becomes even stronger. And like I say, House of Lords reform is such an easy win. This is an easy win. Most of the public out there, and the oops, oh, massive bumblebee in the window. Yeah, most of the British public is massively in favour of reforming the House of Lords and turning it into an elected body. So we cannot keep on passing up this opportunity, and we need to get this done, because the sooner we get this done, the more better our democracy becomes, because it will be a big, big win for our democracy, and it will make our democracy even better by having that elected body. So, of course, as always, thank you very much. Let me know what you think down below as well. And of course, as always, until next time, we'll see you all very soon.